How's it going, everyone? It's Min or Eric here. Today I'm going to be discussing the killers in Dead by Daylight and sorting them into tiers. Before I get into this video, I just want to mention that this is going to be the laziest video I've ever made. I'm just sitting back, laying in my chair with a box of fish crackers. So, I'm just going to be discussing killers by myself in a room while eating fish crackers. It's going to be a chill time, and people seem to like my survivor perk tier list. So, I'm going to be doing that with the killers, and then their perks in a later video. Before I get into it as well, this is all my opinion. It's fine if you think a killer is better than I do. So don't go writing a comment in the comments saying, yeah, Michael Myers is S tier because he can insta down, or whatnot. Feel free to argue your points in the comments, just don't come at me like a child. I suppose we'll do it in order of which the tier list gives me, which I guess is Clown. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, I think the Clown is the worst killer in the game. Oh, I should also mention that I don't play killer. I am basically a survivor main. I play Deathslinger and Hillbilly, and that's it. I've played a little bit of Legion, but that is legitimately it. Clown needs some help, and we know he's getting some changes in the future. We don't know what they are yet, but he does need help. Basically, all he does throws bottles and cuts off certain points of loops. He's basically just a worse Clown, because Clown can make it so you can't go in. Doctor makes it so you can not perform an action period if you're shocked. Clown just slows you down and makes it hard for you to see for a short while. That's all Clown can do. So that's why I think he is the worst killer in the game. I don't think anyone would argue against that. Alright, to be honest, I think Clown is the only one worthy of D tier on this list. I fixed up the tiers a bit, so there's no B and B+. Alright, so I think Clown is actually the only one worthy of E tier. I honestly don't think there's any killer near as bad as Clown, so I think we're just going to skip a D tier entirely. Well, maybe not. We'll see as we go later. So, Deathslinger. I play Deathslinger. I think he's super fun, but I'm starting to reach higher ranks, and it's more difficult to do anything really good on him. But I do think he's B tier. He's not anything insane. He's not anything super good. He's super fun. Legit, you're running around the match with a gun. You're basically playing a shooter where no one else has a gun, and you're just shooting people. It's the most fun thing in the world. Alright, next up we have the Demogorgon. Demogorgon is really good. He's normal walk speed. He can put teleporters. He can put portals or anywhere on the map that he wants and teleport them whenever he wants. But I do not think he is A tier worthy as well, because he doesn't have many tools to help him in a chase other than his shred ability, which is pretty easy to avoid, so it's mostly just used to destroying pallets. Doctor's a bit of a weird one as well. They reworked him a crap ton this last couple updates ago, and a couple doctors I've gone against have made it a bit difficult for me, but he is not as good as Deathslinger or Demogorgon. Time for the Freddy Man. If you don't know what Freddy was before they buffed him, he was the worst killer in the game. All he did was pull you into a dream and hit you. Now, what he does now is he can put down fake pallets. He can put down puddles on the ground where if you walk over them, it tells him where you are, and slows you down. So he basically has a bit of Clown's power in him, and the Doctor's power in him. Not to mention, you can also teleport to generators. It's on a lengthy cooldown, but you can teleport to generators. So him with Pop Goes the Weasel is absolutely crazy. So he is actually S tier, in my opinion. Very good killer now that they updated him. Ghostface is pretty insane. You cannot, if you get an indoor map with Ghostface, it is very hard to get away from him. So we're gonna throw him in A tier. I don't think he's better than Deathslinger and Demogorgon, because you cannot be detected. Sure, Spine Chill is a counter, but like, if you versus calling with Ghostface, it's rip you. Like, you can't do much. Right, now for Hag, which in my opinion is the most boring killer in the game to go against, because it's basically, she's camping you without being there, which is not a fun thing to do. Because you can set down traps, and if you walk over them, she can teleport to them. And that's why she's just camping you without being there. So, I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's anything near A tier, but she is pretty good. She's slow, she's small, she can have a very low terror radius if she's running Monitor and Abuse, and that's it for the Hag. Alright, Hillbilly. Hillbilly is my main killer. Deathslinger is the one I've just been playing recently. I'm not sure if... I think I'd put Billy in S tier, because his map pressure is insane. He has an insta-down. If you run Barbecue and Chili or Discordance on him, they literally have a hard time doing gens. He's normal speed. He can have add-ons to make his chainsaw charge super quick. Just many things that make Hillbilly pretty insane. Alright, now for Huntress. I don't think Huntress is quite S tier, even though her hatches are pretty insane for ending loops pretty quickly. And if catching people in dead zones, if you get that easy first hatchet hit into M1, you're just done. The main drawbacks with Huntress is she's slow. It's a bit difficult to pressure gens with her, but you can throw hatchets, I guess, to get them off for that couple seconds, and then she start a chase. A good thing going for Huntress is that her tear radius or her humming, it's very hard to tell where she's coming from with the new buffs to her humming and the changes to her humming as well. She has a lower tear radius because of her humming, but it doesn't really help her much if you can hear the humming anyways. Alright, Bubba. I don't think Bubba is as terrible as people make him out to be. Sure, he doesn't have any sort of ability to get him around the map quicker and get people off gens. But if you're caught in a dead zone with no pallets nearby, he can just kill you. Which is why I think I'm going to put him in C, because he's not terrible, because he has an instant down. Honestly, charges pretty quickly, goes on for quite a while, and isn't bad at all. Any killer that has an instant down, I think, is no worse than C tier. Even Clown's add-on of you have to hit your ball directly, and then their instant down is pretty hard to hit. Alright, now Legion. People would put Legion in as bad as Clown, but Legion is normal speed, normal tear radius, keeps people injured all the time, which means if you're running Thanatophobia, it's pretty difficult for survivors to heal. That way you can end chases even quicker because they don't want to heal because you can injure them so much. So I'm going to throw him in C tier with the Doctor and the Cannibal. I do think he's worse than those two, probably. Michael, it's weird. I've rarely gone against Michaels lately, and I've played a bit of Michael as well. Back in my early days of DVD, trying to figure out killer. Michael, it's hard for him to... He's spending a lot of time stalking, which you don't want to do, because you're spending time stalking while survivors are running generators. Sure, you make up for that time, but for getting your insta-down and insta-downing them quickly. But I don't know if I want to put him in B tier or C tier. I think I'm going to put him in B tier because stalking them can get them to get off gens. But I don't think it's anywhere near, like... I do think he is better than Hag, but probably not better than Demogorgon and Deathslinger. As for Nurse, I think she's still the best killer in the game, because being able to just go through any type of wall is nuts. Even with the nerfs to her, they really just changed her blinks. They didn't really... Well, they did nerf her, because you can't have 5 blinks anymore, you can have a max of 3. But yeah, she can just negate everything, and has good map pressure. You can't loop her, but... Yeah, that's Nurse for you. What can you do? As for Oni, it's kind of... Oni is just a worse Billy. Billy has his power all the time, okay? With Oni, you have to you have to earn your power. Billy just has his all the time. But I do think... Because Oni, you can control your power a lot easier than Billy's. That's what he has going for him. If you have a lot of uptime on your power, and he's a good slugging killer, just like Hillbilly is. But yeah, that's Oni. Okay, as for the Piggy, she's a stealth killer that can slow the game down by putting traps on your head. She's basically Ghostface that can slow the game down by putting traps on your head. While she is undetectable, she's crouching and moving slower. But I don't think that means... Okay, no, I think she's better than the Doctor. She's not better. I think that looks good. Just about above Legion. And she can mind game by doing her charge attack thing. Now for Plague. If the survivors don't cleanse, she's still an alright killer. If they do cleanse, she's an even better killer. I do think she is A tier because if you run the no gen build, that being like Thanatophobia and Dying Light, they can't, and like Blood Echo is only good on Plague. What Blood Echo does is it makes it so it like 4 status effects. It makes them exhausted, it makes them It just does a bunch of things. So if you run Barbecue, Thanatophobia, Dying Light, and Blood Echo, you know where they are at all times. They're exhausted, so a main counter to Plague is Dead Hard, but they'll be exhausted, so they cannot Dead Hard away from you because they're going to be injured all the time. So Plague is actually really good. Plague with your Food is super good on her as well, so you get stacks quickly, because she is an M1 killer. She's basically an M1 killer with a ranged attack. If Survivor's Cleanse, she basically just downs you in one hit. Okay, Spirit. I don't think I'd say Spirit is better than Freddy and Nurse, even though people would call Spirit the best killer in the game. I don't think so, even though she's probably the best killer in a chase. She's easier to use than Nurse in a chase. That's what I'd say. Spirit ends chases super quickly because her mind games are pretty insane. You don't know when she's phasing. You trick the survivor, you kill them. And Spirit is just crazy. She is slower. That's what is bad for her, but it doesn't matter because she has her Fade ability. Trapper. Trappy Boy. I want to put Trapper. It's a close call between Trapper being B and A tier, but I think he's B because more often than not, people are going to be running Dead Hard through his traps. But, well, you can't do that again, you're saying, if you're going around the loop. I mean, he is basically an insta-down killer that stops loops. But it's just, you're spending a lot of the game putting down traps when survivors are supposed to be doing generators and you're not blocking the generators. It's supposed to help you late game, I know, but you ultimately need to stop gens early. But I don't think it's enough to make him anywhere above he is now. Okay, now this is going to be a controversial one because you either love Wraith or you hate Wraith. I, for one, love Wraith. And I do think he's better than Ghostface. He has map pressure, he has no terror radius, he is super good in chase because he can, if he has certain add-ons to make it so he doesn't have a bell, or has the map-wide bell, where the add-ons make him go quick out of his power, he can end chases pretty dang quickly, and if you put Nurse's Calling on him as well, it's nuts. You can say Ghostface is probably better than Wraith because he doesn't have a bell that can make the survivors hear you and then they start running. I don't think that's the case because Wraith can sneak up on you in just as good a way as Ghostface can. Now, this is one that we're still figuring out. I've played maybe 3 or 4 games against Pyramid Head, but just looking at what he is now, he can hook you without hooking you, if that makes sense. He can end chases if you're dumb, because I think it's personally not that hard to avoid his power. Just the fact that he can hook you without hooking you, he can just teleport you to a cage, and then warn you on your 3rd hook state? That's nuts. He literally wastes no time at all. That paired with a bunch of overpowered killer perks, he sounds pretty unstoppable. I'd put him in S tier, I think. I'd have to think about it, because he literally wastes no time in chases. Has the power to end chases quicker, and he legit just can start doing it again right after he's done with the chase. So yeah, I'd put him in the bottom of S tier. But anyways, guys, let me know if you agree with me. Let me know the controversial ones that you guys think should be higher or lower. And as always, guys, subscribe. I'm going to be making the killer perk tier list very soon here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.